You know, when life hurts you, people can offer religious answers that feel really hollow. You've tried every why. Maybe you know how that feels. But what if faith wasn't about explaining and was about someone showing up? This week's message, Ride or Die, God Doesn't Bail, isn't about tidy theology. Actually, far from it. It's about God in the dark, staying in the storms, and refusing to walk away. If you've ever felt lost or alone, this one's for you. There are moments in life when all the words stop working. We meet or see people in their worst moments, or we're in our worst moments. And our instinct is to figure out what to do or say or think because it makes us really uncomfortable. It's like we want to say something magical to just fix it or make it all right. A lot of time, we turn to the realm of our faith and put that burden on it, trying to force it to make the unthinkable, the unfair, the unjust, make some sort of sense and be okay. Our theological and linguistic acrobatics want closure, a fix. But suffering doesn't offer it. So we fill the silence with trying to make the math work. I think that over the past 48 years, I've tried pretty much every clever equation of why for bad things. And every single one seems to have collapsed under the weight of my 3-year-old brother's grave. My mind wants order and answers, but I think my heart has learned better. I've talked before about those who were around that actually helped me through that. They were just there, not trying to fix what was broken, but listening and doing seemingly small things that meant the world to a 9-year-old. There were also a lot of people around trying to explain it. Rabbi Kushner is totally right in his book. Trying to make it make sense left me going back and forth between 3 different, pretty obvious conclusions or possibilities in my mind. Either God is weak because he wants to help out but can't, or that God doesn't love us as much as we are told because he could help but won't, or that I'm a bad person who must have deserved it somehow. All the noise, all the static is deafening. The idea of God testing people by using other people, estimating how much we can handle, and then theoretically not overloading us, despite seeing people crushed and broken in this world. The idea of making us better or stronger or whatever by torturing us. Those things and others widened a valley between a 9-year-old and God. Then the unbelievable volume and pain and terror of being mad at God and hearing and thinking of and hearing the various listed consequences that are so often listed to us about that, being told that there are no real options other than suck it up and accept that it's good, that it's for your own good, and he's in a better place type of stuff. All of those explanations try to rescue God's reputation with logic. But they end up either shrinking love or causing us to blame ourselves or other people. Yeah, I was told that my brother's death could have been caused or been the fault of the sins of 2 or 3 generations ago of my ancestors. Wait a minute. My brother was adopted. So wait, who? What? Why? All of it is just exasperating and maddening. And I can still feel that turbulence in my chest and stomach, especially if I see it being done to other people, especially if it's capped off by the supposed rule, don't question God. I don't know, but I'll say this. I feel like that over the years, I've had to return to my brother's grave and bury or put a lot of things to rest there. Every one of us can run into those devastating moments in life. They are devastating. And I think that it's spiritual malpractice to call that kind of pain, suffering, or evil anything even close to good. Turns out Martin Luther agrees with me. He wrote, "That person does not deserve to be called a theologian who looks upon the invisible things of God as though they were clearly perceptible in those things which have actually happened. One deserves to be called a theologian, however, who comprehends the visible and manifest things of God, seen through suffering and the cross. A theologian of glory calls evil good and good evil. A theologian of the cross calls the thing what it actually is." Sounds like it could be helpful, but it needs some unpacking. What he's saying is that some want to find God in success, beauty, and strength, and can end up calling good what may actually be idolatrous or self-serving. But a person that focuses on the cross, looks straight at suffering, at weakness, and even apparent failure and says, God's here, hidden in this. So when Luther says calls evil good and good evil, he's warning against religious spin, trying to make God look glorious by denying the reality that pain, suffering, and failure are real, and that they're just terrible. That focus on the cross speaks of God's presence in the midst of suffering. We try to soften and theologically explain away and do our word thing with one of the most powerful and human moments of all the gospel. Jesus cries out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" It's as raw as it gets. It's human suffering. It's at the junction of the ultimate encounter with evil, abandonment, and the weight of sin. If we try to explain it away, we end up falling into the theologian of glory trap, saying it can't really be that bad, or God wouldn't let that be, or Jesus didn't really feel forsaken. That softens the horror. It also softens the grace. That moment affirms real suffering. The cross is not abstract. It's personal, visceral, devastating, terrible. It honors humanity. Jesus fully enters the human experience of despair, doubt, and abandonment. We proclaim that Jesus is Emmanuel, right? But it's not just a Christmas or Advent thing. It means God with us. And that moment of the cross reveals God's solidarity with us. God has entered the worst of what it means to be a human and yet abides with us. So the cross is the moment where God meets our worst reality head on and lives it and actually dies in it. Not an explanation, not in tidy theology, not in feel-good bumper stickers or inspirational posters, but in presence, in love, in endurance. So when you hit the bottom and find God there too, the bottom isn't the same anymore. It's no longer God forsaken. I guess it comes down to relationship. God with us and then us with others. I think that's the deal with the gospel for today. 10 lepers were healed, but only one comes back. The other 9 were grateful for what God did. The Samaritan, who by the way was the outsider, was grateful to the God who did it. That distinction matters because one is about benefits, the other's about a relationship. That's why Jesus says only the one who returned was really made whole. Imagine maybe getting perfect gifts from someone. You know, the kind of thing that is actually what you really, really need, but never turning around to see the one that they're from, the one that loves you the most. Never getting to know them, never experiencing that relationship. The one person turned around and his gratitude pulled him into a deeper encounter and the relationship that would be what would sustain him beyond the abilities of his body. Paul said, "For I am convinced that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor demons, nor anything present, nor future, nor height, nor depth, nor powers, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Jesus Christ." That relationship is currently referred to as a ride or die. It has evolved from a biker and hip-hop culture. Ride meaning to stay with someone through the journey, and die meaning you'd even face death before abandoning them. It goes for anything, whether it's good or bad or safe or dangerous. Kind of sounds a lot like the cross, doesn't it? Jesus is ride or die, and we are called to those types of relationships. They are our strongest weapons against all the pain and suffering of this world. Real gratitude isn't about being polite or just being thankful for the benefits. It's about turning toward the relationship behind them. It's seeing the giver, not just the gift. The world does not need more people explaining why things happen. It needs people who, like Jesus, stay with us in those hard, crappy places, who will sit beside those who suffer, stand by the graveside, honor the silence, and say with their presence, "You are not alone." That's the ride or die love of Jesus. It's a love that stays, a love that holds, and a love that endures. And it's the love we're called to live. So may we turn around, see the one who has never left us, and become that kind of presence for others. Amen.